Oh no, new update. The guy who I talked to on the guy who talked to me on Twitter, this account doesn't exist. You talk, then you block somebody, then you delete your account. Holy moly. What a crash out. And he's probably still gonna get fired. Harambe died for this. Yeah, it's hard to see Bitcoin hitting 5 million. That would just mean the dollar is worthless. I'm not gonna go call his boss, but I would appreciate an apology. Because now, anytime somebody brings up that bank, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, I know that kid. And it's much better to be like, hey bro, I'm sorry I acted out. I shouldn't have done that. Please accept my apology, man. That's all you gotta do. And I'm like, all right, brother, I see you. We've all been there before. You're having a rough day. I'm not trading UNH, man. I don't know. It's not clear that UNH is undervalued. I don't know how you value a company that may just have to be like permanently restructured. It's probably got a bit more upside than downside, but just be careful. There's no need to rush to buy it. Maybe a small position. I have a really big position on ABVX just because I really don't see how it trades down. The data's that good. Most people just keep on compounding. I don't know what else sells Sarepta. Now, I do know about global grain supply and demand. You hope that unexpected events are distributed randomly or evenly, but sometimes they're not. Yeah, David, one of the ways to think about that is like, let's say, you look at all the positions you have for the year. What's your total P&L? You're going to have losers. So even if you lose a couple % of your portfolio on it and you book it, just get out. You can't make money on every single company you trade. This is not going to happen. It sucks. You got to keep moving. Let me show you my attribution. As of right now, I've lost 4.5% of my portfolio on Sarepta. It's not bad. It is my 5th biggest loss. If I sort by P&L, my biggest gain by far is Immune. My second biggest gain is ABVX. Then I got SharpLink, that crazy bet, Kohl's, which I shorted that day, IMS, which we've gotten all over the place, Invivid, PayPal, Thera Technologies, which got bought out. And my losers, they're all quantum stocks, Humacyte, Joby. I even lost money on Capricorn somehow. And still down on Sarepta, but yeah, I think Adam is Satoshi. Adam and his buddies, they came up with this Satoshi idea. Somebody had to come up with it. Then the CIA started looking into it. That's when everything had to stop. It's in the Genesis block. You see it. You've seen it. You've seen it. But what newspaper is in the Genesis block? It ain't the New York Post. Satoshi was worried about the Royal Bank of Scotland needing restructuring. And Americans don't even know what RBS is. Or was. No, never ran into any of the AIG or... I met with... I had one insurance company invest with me once. It went pretty well. Yeah, that strategy works. It's hard, every strategy has trade-offs. That strategy's trade-off is you have to... In good times, you're going to be down every year until you finally are up 10x. And people at some point will think, the bad time's never going to happen again. Like, kind of what's happening right now. Although COVID bailed out all the fat tail guys. Oh, the SRI Mitsubishi Consumer Purchase Index. But you don't use that. Very elite. I'm doing some quality assurance here. A little QA. I was short common stock. I don't really options if I don't have to. Don't listen to S&P 6900. That's a fake thing. It's not real. It's never going to go up. You can't turn a meme into success. That kind of thinking will get you homeless. Okay? And no one will ever want to work with you with anything or about anything if you're talking about S&P 6900. I like Bagahundro, but he was just too much of a liar. And if you're going to be a lol cow, you got to let us milk you a little bit. Yeah, just like return on invested capital is the way I do it. So like if a team is very good, you assume that they're going to generate projects that return higher than their weighted cost of capital. And that's kind of the point of capitalism, isn't it? In it. You don't invest with a company because you see the earnings and profits today. You invest because you assume management can take it and create even more projects. Now, Buffett says the opposite. He of course wants good management, but he'd rather have a business where management doesn't need to heroically do above average return products and projects. He'd rather own a business where it's like just set in stone that the company is just going to keep generating high returns on invested capital, or CapEx, PP&E, that kind of thing. But if you have a talented manager, it doesn't have to be CapEx and high return PP&E. Look at Meta. So yeah, there's a hurdle rate of sorts, isn't it? Yeah, ham sandwich, isn't it? Performance matrix. Steal that. Thank you. I think Cardiff will be bad. I mean, oncology stuff, man. Yeah, I'm not sure if Bitcoin's going to return 40% a year from now on, but maybe. Who knows? It would seem to be impossible after a certain amount of time. Otherwise, every asset's denominated in Bitcoin, and could you value the whole world's GDP in Bitcoin? I mean, it becomes arbitrary what Bitcoin is at that point. A lot of philosophical questions show up. Because if Bitcoin goes up 40% a year against the dollar, it says more about the dollar than it says about Bitcoin. Ultimately, we have to be able to transact in some kind of currency for work. That's the principal point of currency, is that you can buy value with it. And generally, one of the biggest things of value that we're trying to buy is people's time and work. I think Bitcoin suffers from a lot of structural problems. The cryptography is very weak, for example. Not just because the dollar sucks doesn't mean something else is good. What about Ethereum? Just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, it's BSV and BCH. I'd probably go with some, the problem, Hans, is like there's never been, other than maybe one-time pad, which obviously doesn't work for crypto, there's never been a system that foils all attackers. Hackers and evildoers will always be there to break any system. It's a perennial war. And I don't know how crypto's going to ever fix that problem. I'm going to call it a Ponzi scheme, maybe more of a collective delusion. But again, we're in the midst of it, so it's very hard to say what's going to happen. Right now, Bitcoin's got the upper hand. I mean, it's doing great. But in 10 years, we might say, oh, what a crazy delusion we all went through. Or we might say, man, it really became a big force. Tulip bulbs or not. I think Vitalik is a genius. Not too hard to get a vanity address. Just got to grind it. I have something that pays for short losses. It's called short gains and long gains. Every trader has both. You can't cry about your short losses or long losses. That's just not how investing works. You have to make sure your gains outstrip your losses, because you're going to have both. I don't know the AUR very well. It seems very weird to me. I mean, I just don't know how to value that. It's just an awkward company. I don't know when they're going to start producing their product, and it's not something I follow closely. I mean, it sounds like a real company. The people behind it seem real, but it also feels like it could be like 𝗦𝗫𝗏 at any moment. I don't know if it's going to be a generational bottom or not. Sarepta is quite risky, but I like it. See if I'm proven right. I don't know Able too well. Wish him luck. Seems like an operator more than an investor, which is like telling for kind of the way I think Berkshire might be operating from the future. Kind of siloed. Stock pickers versus operators. That's the way every company should be. These operators think they know how to invest. It's hilarious. And we're on Icahn forced Tim Cook to do buybacks. Tim, you're going to do some buybacks, okay? I don't know. I think Ackman has more money now. It's unbelievably, but Carl's, I don't know, he's had a rough run, but obviously still a OG in my book. Yeah, a little bit of a rough run, unfortunately. He's been a little bearish, which, you know, you can't blame him. But, you know, obviously his career, you know, I'm a huge fan of his career, speaks volumes. You know, just, you live long enough, you're going to have a rough run. I mean, that's just how it is, you know, and he's had a real rough run. And Ackman's had a couple rough years every now and then, too. Icahn's super old. You know, I think he's basically retired. I mean, Icahn, you know, changed business. You know, Icahn, like, he has a whole era named after him, right? You know, it's just, you can't, you know, underscore enough, you know, how legendary he was. Now, having said that, you know, he was a foil for a lot of people. He was a nemesis for some. He was, you know, people were afraid of him. But he changed business forever. And that's pretty amazing. And obviously he made a fortune doing it. And he was and is a tremendous investor. Want to compete with 𝗙𝗡𝗏𝗻𝗏? Sounds like you're trying to do what 𝗙𝗡𝗏𝗻𝗏's do. Demand side. Sounds fancy. Yeah, Kramer was maybe a little less noteworthy than Carl Icahn, but, you know, a legend as well. I mean, Icahn did stuff almost nobody ever did. That guy had guts. And his son is a very good investor as well, I'm told. This whole team. He's had so many guys work for him that were quite good. Alex Denner, of course. The guys that work there now. T. Boone. One thing I really missed is when T. Boone passed away, they auctioned all of his stuff and I wanted to buy all of it. That guy was such a legend. Legend. That guy, like, literally became a billionaire and lost the billion 3 times. I didn't know T. Boone had commercials. Oh yeah, the wind. Armtree Boone Perkins. I want to win. Yeah, Icahn and T. Boone were the same era. I gotta call you back. T. Boone's on the line. I'll call you back later, Ackman. I'll call you back later, Ackman. I got T. Boone here. Yeah, man, he was the wildcatter, right? I mean, you guys familiar with that term, wildcatter? If you're not, you better be. Maybe you're looking at him right now. WT is Big Shkreli. It's good. You gotta learn today. Wildcat. A lot of wildcatters here in Dallas and Houston.
Whoa, Cody, is something wrong, man? Are you all right? Are you sad about something? Is there? Are those tears? Come on, Cody, you're a grown man. All right, so show some self-respect. I think Cody is long ATYR, and it looks like he's crying. What's that? Oh, Cody, you're one of those. Which stock did you buy? Quantum? Get the Quantum? Are you ATYR baggie or Cardiff baggie? I don't know if there's a more stock then. It's just different companies. Oh, it has to be one of those stocks. Still cassava? You just mad. It's okay. It's a feeling. It'll go away. You'll be fine. I got the baggy blues. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm buying some biotech. This is the baggy blues. Look at the trial data. I don't know what I saw. I put my life savings in it, and now it's gone. I got the baggy blues. This one goes out to Cody. I like this guy. He goes, the best example of a stop loss sweep. I've been investing for 25 years and I've never heard this term. Where did you hear it? The best example of a stop loss sweep. I read that, but I also, that recently his win rate is something like 10%. It's less than that. It's about 1%, because I got the baggy blues, baby. Voltaire once said, man is born free, but everywhere in chains. except for me. I'm a baggie. Yeah, I mean, the Cardiff data is worse than before. I mean, that's not good. At the same time, it's settling in at a place that's kind of almost maybe positive, but in the history of biotech, when this happens, the data kind of collapses to... It may not end at the... I think it's important to note that the drop today has not just been about his Twitter post. People listen to him, but I don't think he has enough reach to move the stock this much. Because I'm a little baggy now. Got the blues today. I'm down 14%. I thought this was a promising biotech. Well, yeah, I didn't make much net money there. The Cardiff gain offset this kind of Sarepta fade. So it's all right. Better than a poke in the eye. Sarepta could come back tomorrow. Still up 18, almost on the dot. Yeah, Azure's so painful. I think we're going to try to get to multi-cloud. And we have infra problems out the yin gang, man. We need a great infrastructure developer. IM's just weird, man. It's one of these stocks, like, I think just stay away from it. These guys are so dirty. Can't believe they did that financing, man. What a bunch of baloney. X-Pro. Man, they're still trying to act like they'll work? I don't know how you trust... Oh, this is the enriched. Oh, this is enriched? Oh, man. Yo. Oh, man. I can't even tell which arm is better. Come on. But where's the primary endpoint data? Where'd it go? Where did that go? Is there a primary endpoint somewhere here? Enriched population? What's that? You throw out the patients that don't... You don't want to... I'd rather you didn't do this clinical trial, sir. Who's ready for GPT-5? Well, that sounds fun. Coming soon to a theater near you. Sarepta's barely up today, even though they had the massive breakthrough with the FDA. That's unbelievable. It's all right. We're still up. This market's real rough, but I think we'll close the year up 100%. I'm ambitious. Yeah, I mean, mostly making money on the long side. But I made money on that immune short. But still net long. I like ABVX. I don't do favorites. I have positions, different positions, position sizes. Got a whole bunch of guys from your bank reached out. So it's obviously one of the biggest companies in the world, but very flattering that lots of professionals are coming to our service. Hopefully one day it'll be at every bank in the universe. Yeah, David, I have a pretty diverse portfolio. I shorted a couple of biotechs that crashed and bought a couple that went up a lot. I don't just have one position. Yeah, I'm avoiding UNH. Unless you know the healthcare system inside and out and can vouch that things aren't going to change. I'm skeptical of that. I think it's a lot of issues. Yeah, when the ABVX data came out, I bought it at like 52. It's at 70 now. Pretty thrilled with that. And IMNB, I basically went all in on a short there, and it worked out really well. And now I'm kind of all in on ATYR. ABVX is either my biggest or second biggest long with Sarepta. I don't know, Dienzo. That's why I'm saying, like, unless you're a healthcare payments expert, like life with UNH. Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks, ATYR's phase 3 data comes out. I project it will fail. I haven't been working hard enough. I'm trying to make some generational wealth for me and my family. My little baby Chucky. I'm real. Who do you think you are? I'm real. They told me the subgroup worked. It only works in women. I believed them. But the market didn't. I got the baggy blues. I went on Reddit, where all these geniuses hang out. They told me I was the smartest of them all. I got the baggy blues. Couldn't even make it on Wall Street bets. Woo! Wall Street. I'm in Wall Street, Alabama, baby. Never been to New York City. I'm imagining money. I am. I'm a professional money manager for my whole family. Cletus, all his cousins. I'm outperforming that S&P 500. Trying to find the post from the crazy Country Dumb, that's what it's called. I like this guy. He goes, the best example of a stop loss sweep. I've been investing for 25 years and I've never heard this term. Where did you hear it? The best example of a stop loss sweep. I read that, but I also that recently his win rate is something like 10%. It's less than that.
Well, there's nothing special about the German drug industry. I think it's it's basically a multinational business, the pharma industry. There aren't too many local players that aren't MNCs. Iran's inflation rate rises to 35%. Nice. 𝗬𝗢𝗢𝗔𝗥𝗚 better than Micro One, raising funds at 500 million valuation, sources say. It's earnings season, baby. The CAC, the French index called CAC. I know you love the CAC. CAC 40. That's your thing. You've liked the CAC for a long time.